All right, so this car is here for upgraded AP2 retainers and keepers. These are the OEM parts. We basically get them from an 05 or newer S2000. Retainers and keepers will do the intake and exhaust. This is an upgrade, also a peace of mind. We have seen a handful of AP1 retainers bend or break. Part of this service, we put a brand new valve cover gasket and a complete valve adjustment, so the car has to cool down all the way. Also, he is looking to do the transmission change and the differential change. So let's get to it. So no Esther today, it's MLK Day. So the kids are off, which means she is off. So I am going to be doing somewhat double duty, I guess, today, if I can get the computer to work. Here we go. Let's check the orders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 orders. Look at that. That is terrific. So we're going to go ahead and get these put together and boxed and shipped. George now has a job in packing and shipping. Got promoted.
Yeah.
Do you want any more bubble wrap, or is that good?
No, that's good, because that bag, like you said, is inflated, so
Oh yeah.
it'll be good to go.
And then the super tape gun. Look at that thing. That's for some serious packing and shipping right there. So there's no emails, but this is so far what we've sold. We've got 11 orders out today, so the guys ordered. Thank you so much. We are putting like a little extra sticker or something each box, just so you guys get a little bit more than what you're paying for. And we really appreciate your support, so thank you so much. We have all these done. We're good to go. Now we can get to work. Get ready with the smell-o-vision. Ooh, you only just got it in your thumb. That's the trick to not opening the second one. If you open the other one, it comes out with a gush.
It's been loosened, but it's not
yeah, it's not loose. It's not out. So we've talked about this many times, but the brake fluid on this car looks really clean. But as a glance over here, this is really dark on the outside. So a quick inspection. Remove the cap. See how dark it is in there, and also it's low. This is something we've mentioned a lot. When it's low, as bad as that is, always check on the inside. I'm going to show you where to check here. And again, this is for those guys that watch our videos and kind of follow along and do some of the maintenance at home, which of course we're big fans of. Follow the clutch pedal up, and over here, that is the back side of the master cylinder. As you see, not only is it greasy there, I'll move the light around a little bit, you can see it's actually got a drip, and it's wet all the way down here. The carpet's wet, the plastic's wet all the way around here. That's actually leaking through. The master is leaking from the reservoir all the way through this side. Also, as a note, while we're in here, you can see the button here for the safety switch has completely fallen apart. That's something to note too. If we ever do that, we always replace the button. But let me get a hold of the customer and remind them of that. Also, before we started, check the codes, and it has a pending code of 1399. It's one of those things we like to check along the way. That's a random misfire, which means could be many things causing that: spark plugs, injectors, compression, any of the above. But that's something we'll talk to him about as well. Alright, so new master cylinder is in and bled. Let me show you how bad the old one was. So this is what it looks like out. When I showed you from the car side, you're looking at it this way. So think of this as being like a syringe. This is obviously the large reservoir that holds the fluid. When you press on this, you're pushing a piston in here, and then it forces the high pressure fluid out of here. Well, in here, part of that piston, there is a seal, and when it breaks down, that is usually what turns really black and grungy. And as the fluid bypasses that, it's actually coming out of here, which you can see there where it's kind of stained it. And this one was actually forming a drip on that bottom. So this, over time, you lose some of your clutch feel. It doesn't disengage or engage correctly. And of course, when the fluid is leaking down here, as you see how bad this one is, if I can get it open, you can see how bad this one is. It just looks like grunge in there. A lot of that is contamination, and then of course the seal as it breaks down a bit. That's something you shouldn't neglect. If your master is in good shape, stay on top of the fluid changes, and you'll prevent this from happening. It's not going to completely eliminate it, but it will last much longer. But it's a common issue. We see it a lot. It's finished. We're just double checked the valves and did everything. Make sure it's happy. And it's cold today. It's 48 degrees. So for you guys in Canada, that's probably a nice day. But to us, it's cold. We're used to it being 90, so 48 is cold. Car is ready to go. We're just going to let it warm up, go over it, check the trims, make sure it's happy. Now it's got the new clutch master cylinder in there. The clutch feels a whole lot better. I mentioned this on another video, and it's more noticeable when you get a car with bad fluid. Once you flush it, put a new master in, of course, but with new fluid, the clutch actually feels smoother because you're not pushing that like contaminated fluid through the whole system. It's surprising how much difference it makes. It gives it a nice smooth feel. But this car, also look at the mileage. 111110. I almost feel like we should just put it on the lift and turn it over to all ones. I don't know, something about having all the mileage match. But this one is good. We did a little bit of cleanup under here. There's a couple of things a little off, not too bad, but they just needed adjusting and cleaning up. But this one's good. We can call the customer and say it's ready to go. So what do you think of that, guys? Talking to our friend now. It's funny how he became a friend, but Brian from Monaco Auto Design, the one that did the posters for us, I asked him, I said, hey, can you do some design work for us? I don't know if that's what you do, if this would be asking too much, but I asked him, part of designing a new t-shirt is I wanted a S2000 silhouette. You know, we work on these cars so much. I really like these cars. It was important to have the spoiler on the back, which is obviously it's facing the opposite way. See, by keeping that shape, because that's the spoiler I like. Everyone has a different idea, but that's the idea. So I'm going to talk to our t-shirt guy and see about offering these t-shirts. We keep getting asked about black t-shirts. I like blue, but I like black too. So we're going to do a line of black t-shirts. So if that's something you've been kind of waiting for, and if you're interested in 2000s and you kind of like to, you know, support us, check that out. I'm going to talk to the t-shirt guy today. In fact, when he opens, it's still kind of early. I don't know when he gets there. I want to see how many we need to do and do the popular sizes, medium, large, extra large. I don't typically do 2X because we don't get enough sales, and he has to do a minimum run, and then you have to redesign the logo often when the shirts vary too much. I'll talk to him, see what we can do, and we'll put those in the store. But looking to get a line of black, maybe some with just a straight LHT. This is our hoodie, by the way. This isn't like a plug. Yeah, it's a plug for our merchandise. This is our hoodie. I really like this. George doesn't like it because he's not wearing it. He refuses to wear it. Even though I buy him his clothes, he refuses to wear it.
I'm trying to keep mine nice.
He's trying to keep it nice. In fact, it's still in the packet. I'm rubbing off on him. So, looking at maybe getting some of these in black too. We only have a handful of these left in the store. They do have the ties in here. I just take it out. Something about leaning over the sender and having that lace grab the sender and, you know, give me a shave. Now I'll quit yapping. This car is good to go. George, if you want to take it for a quick ride, make sure that the clutch is adjusted right. It feels good. It idles smooth. As my dad would say, it runs like a little sewing machine. Nice. Just hear the intake. The intake's the loudest parts. Like humming away.
Yeah, with that long tube in it?
Yeah, it makes that howling sound. But the engine's nice. Another one came in. This is our good friend Jeff, which has done a lot of 3D printing for us, and he likes to be low key. But look at that, he's just got us some more LHT key rings. These are going to be in the store. Now, I don't want to be that guy that sells every single little item and everything's nickel and dime. So I think I'm going to say when you make a purchase over a certain amount, you're going to get one of these. Let me show you one real quick. All right, so we still have our Christmas tree up because I don't know, Esther hasn't taken it down. This was the original LHT keyring that he made, which is just like the solid lettering. This is the hollow one that I really like. He did actually a few for us, but this is kind of like the outline. You can see through it, look, which is really cool because it goes with our logo. It's got the hollowed out. Oh, by the way, this was done by Brian at Monaco. Whoa. So yeah, I'm going to put that in the store over a certain amount. This is just kind of like our, you know, token appreciation for shopping with us. I don't want you to have something extra. If you're supporting us, I want to support you and give you a thank you. And thank you for Jeff for making all these. It's that awkward payment situation with him. I always say, how much do you want? Don't worry about it. Well, when he drops his car off, I feel like I have to repay the favor. So it's kind of that leave a penny, take a penny. He wants to do a valve adjustment. New spark plugs in this. It's basically just a service that is required. It's got the occasional misfire. So I can't do anything but just take care of that for him. I know he won't want me to do it for free, but he won't take any money for all the stuff he's doing for us, so I guess that's just how you do it with friends, right? Alright, so this has the UK mod that we did a couple of years ago for him. I just wanted to get a sound clip of what it sounds like, because it almost has almost like a stumble. It's not bad, but it's not absolutely super silky smooth and rhythmic like the black one that just left. It just has a little bit of a rough idle. Now it did throw a misfire code the other day. It came in and it had a check engine light, so pulled the codes and saw that it had a misfire, and I said, well, it's probably a good idea we do a valve adjustment and new spark plugs. Talking of which, this is one of our earlier master cylinder braces when we used to actually do the welding on them. They were actually kind of a little bit thinner. The pocket wasn't as deep. The new ones were onto V3. It's actually a thicker material. This is all built in, and the pockets are deeper. Again, we've done a lot of development with this, and the current one with the thicker material has zero flex. Now, see what I'm seeing over there? Looks like a rat has been chewing that plastic. We just posted one up with some rat damage. That's a rat that's been chewing that battery cable. See right there? That looks like rat damage right there. We're gonna have to mention that to Jeff. I did put a video out saying if you have any, that's an older battery tie too, look how wide that is. Was basically looking for ideas.
How thin that is.
Yeah, I was looking at it as the V2.
Yeah.
I'll have to show the V3 here in a minute. And looking for ideas if anybody had a way to get rid of rats, to deter them from the engine bay, to scare them away, to make them go to the next guy. But that looks like rat damage. I don't see anything else. I don't see any rat poop or any evidence of rats. So that's where it started. 58, it's working its way up to 83. So we'll let this thing cool all the way down. This isn't an accurate reading, by the way. Don't think that we go by this to check valves or do valve adjustments. We'll let this thing cool all the way down before we mess around with it. Alright, so it's actually cooled down pretty quick with this fan on here. The fan blowing on the back of my neck. I can feel it's freezing my neck. But we're going to do a check here. Let's bring it up to TDC and we'll do number one. We'll get an idea. That feels a whole lot better, George. Get an idea where it's at. I've heard 06 and ups have exhaust valves that are tight. To be honest, I haven't really seen a pattern any particular year that we've seen that, but this seems to be all over the place, so it's always a good idea to check.
The 11 won't go in. Try a 9. Oh, the 9 went in, but it's tight.
It's tight?
It's a tight 9.
Okay, so number one was way tight. So you've already adjusted number one.
Yeah, and number 3. It was the back one on number 3 was also really tight.
What about the intake?
Intakes are good so
okay,
far.
so we're confirming all right. The exhausts are tight on this one, which would actually cause that stumbling. Whenever the valves are tight, it actually burns valves over time. It can cause long-term damage. I always recommend, if there is a spec, always go to the looser side. If they give you a tolerance of say 9 to 11, put them at a tight 11. It'll give you a little bit more free play there. So of course when we do a valve cover, we always put a new valve cover gasket kit on there, even if it's only several weeks old. You put this together, take it back apart. This will sometimes give you problems. Nobody wants to do a job twice. And the spark plugs, as you see, all look pretty rough. They're worn. These are considered 100,000 mile plugs, but if you watch our channel and you know kind of our personality, oil that says it's 10,000 mile oil, I would never go by that either. These look pretty rough, and you can see the black around here where they've been leaking by the porcelain there, but they look pretty rough. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this car's gonna run a whole lot better between the valve adjustment and the plugs. You reported almost every single exhaust was tired, right? It was like all tight.
And those plugs are at 42,000 miles.
Really?
Yeah.
Yikes. Yeah, don't go 100,000 miles on your plugs. This is, again, a normal car. There's nothing done to this car except the UK mod, and we did a mild tune on this a couple of years ago. Other than that, it's stock. So don't put that kind of mileage on your plugs and expect them to work. You ready to fire it up?
Yeah.
Let's see what it does. Hopefully it still runs. Let it warm up, let it idle down. Certainly sounds nice. Nice and smooth. Go ahead and point it out. I'm not even going to say it. Somebody is typing right now, trying to get that comment in about. All right, we'll let it warm up, let it idle down, see what it sounds like. So a quick recap on the brakes. You remember we did the brakes on this, and we kind of give them a complimentary caliper paint, and the idea how the calipers are holding up still look perfect. See that? The paint's still good. It's just dusty. Again, we did silver on our S2000. We have an option for silver or black. But this one is kind of recap that and show you. So it's nice to circle back around and see how things are working. So now this is warmed up, it definitely has a smoother idle. No, it's not the most scientific way of checking, but if you feel the body, there's almost no feel of the engine now. And again, there's obviously way more accurate ways to check that. Let's get a sound clip on it. We've talked about this UK mod, we did a video about it. Go ahead and give it a burp. It's a pretty nice sound without being obnoxious. And again, there's no power in it, it's just sound, but it really does make the car feel nice. Kind of fun to drive. Part of driving a car is a bit of sound too. So we'll let this warm up all the way, we'll double check it, check the trims, make sure everything's happy where it needs to be. We'll call Jeff and go, you know what? This one's on the house. So Jeff has made us a whole bunch of these. If you watch some of our past videos, we did some RPMs with these and we did a giveaway, the person that got the closest. Well, this is a new one he made, and his equation was the diameter is half the size, the vanes are about the same. It's bolted here, so it shouldn't fall off. But we're going to do a quick RPM test on this. So we'll see what kind of RPMs this thing's going to do. I think these did about 12 to 13,000. His ideas, this should do about double. Alright, so now the compressor is charged. We're mounting this here. We're just going to run this. George is going to freehand it, put the air hose on here, and then the RPM gauge, see where we're at. Then what we're going to do is see if dripping a little Mobil 1 in there helps it.
Listen.
It sounds kind of dry. Yeah, it does. So we'll drip a little bit of Mobil 1 in there, see what happens, see if the RPMs change. Alright, let's do a multi-angle shoot. Are you ready? We are go.
Phone?
I'm ready when you are. Alright, test. High speed, number 2. That sure screams on it.
Yeah.
So where did we peak at that time?
22,504.
Alright, so we're gonna put a little bit of Mobil 1 on there, put it on the bearing, see if it will quieten that up and remove any of the friction, see if it'll speed it up. So we're gonna remove that little dust cover there so we can get oil right into the bearings. That'll probably be a better way to go. So you've seen one of this, it's just a regular bearing race with little ball bearings all the way around the outside. True drops for good luck. Is it quieter? All right, test 2. After a little drink of Mobil 1, see what kind of RPMs we're gonna see now, if any. It sounds a little bit quieter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what it does. So we use this bottle to fill it up, by the way. If somebody's looking at this, if we're sneaking it around the corner, this is just a bottle that we put that stuff in, just so we can answer that question. That makes it a little easier.
Marker on there. Some of this is Mobil 1 oil. Just we use it for dripping it on stuff.
We got to point out the naysayers. All right, so take 2, high RPM. Yep. Wow, that is loud. That is really moving. And keep in mind, this is a 3D printed plastic wheel. There's nothing really that special about this. This is just something he made up. It's just amazing that it holds up to that kind of RPM. There's no damage to the vanes.
22,682.
That's with the Mobil 1. So go ahead, buy your Mobil 1 at your local dealership, put it on your 3D printed wheel, see what kind of RPMs you can get. So this is all coming loose. The whole bolt's coming loose. All right, good deal. All right, hope you enjoyed the spinner test on the other part of the video. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If this is something you're interested in, let me know. Maybe I'll put those in the store. We have 4 we're willing to put in the store, so let me know if that's something you're interested in. In the meantime, see you in the next video. Don't forget, enjoy your cars.